क्या हुआ मुश्किल है तुझको
कुछ नहीं
की पढ़ाई नहीं कर रही इसीलिए एक लड़की को मार दिया लड़की को
नहीं भागती ना मैंने मारा नहीं ना मारा को मार दिया बोल रहे हैं
इतना बोला सा शक्ल लेके तुम किसको मारने चले थे
मैंने किसको मारा नहीं पहले मारा था अभी नहीं
मारा था अभी सस्पेंड नोटिस आ गई थी
नहीं एक्टर
अभी तो लास्ट वीक में मारा था अभी सस्पेंड नोटिस आई
चल तो महीना हो गया
लेकिन गर्व अभी तक है उसको मारा था
इतना बड़ा काम करके आए यहाँ पे पेरेंट्स मस्ट बी हैविंग हाइपरटेंशन की बच्चा पढ़ नहीं रहा है कैसे क्या होगा एंड वो वहाँ पे रेसलिंग पे लगा गर्ल्स काम है तुम लोगों को भी पीछे बैठने का शौक है क्यों ऐसे मतलब क्या क्यों इधर आओ और आशिका बात नहीं करेंगे ये हो सकता है कोई So we were talking about nutrition and we were with vitamins. No? Okay, let us complete that. Volume देना. One of you. भैया तुम तो आगे आ जाओ. गर्ल सामने बैठते तो अच्छा भी लगता है. मेरे को शिक्षक ही नहीं है. मैंने बोला था गर्ल सामने तुमने अनुष्का नाम की क्या? इसका नाम लड़कों में भी नहीं लेते. इसका प्रोटेस्ट तुम्हें करना चाहिए. इसका प्रोटेस्ट तुमको करना चाहिए. अब उसको तुमने क्यों मारा मुझे नहीं पता. इसका तो प्रोटेस्ट करना चाहिए. खाने वाला था
मतलब मारना थोड़ा डिसेंटली चाहिए.
अच्छा डिसेंसी तो मारने वाला डिसेंसी होता है.
उसे मारना चाहिए.
मतलब डिसेंसी में कैसे मारते हैं?
क्या एक बार मारते हैं हाथ पहले मुंह में मारना चाहिए.
मारना चालू किया बस मैंने जगह में उसको लेटा दिया तो भी मार रहा था बंदा.
मैं ऐसा भी नहीं कि एक बार मार के छोड़ दिया वो गिरा नहीं था तो फिर मारा.
नॉर्मल में ये सब कैसे होता है?
बहुत ही पीढ़ी थी.
अब पिटीशन के
बात कम होता है बट
चले गए.
तुम लोग तो स्कूल कॉलेज से भी बदतर है. हाँ स्कूल तो बड़ा डेंजरस स्कूल है तुम लोग का. कोई किसी को मार डालता है कोई कुछ भी पता नहीं चलता टीचर्स को ऐसे कहते हैं. Now we'll complete with the last part of the chapter. Then I'm going to give you questions. एक भी question अगर तुम लोगों ने आंसर नहीं किया अच्छी तरह से without the help of the book. Take out your textbook. Turn to the table that we were studying the other day. Volume है उसमें भी same table है. Volume of the textbook. Either of the two you take out. So yesterday we were with water soluble vitamins. We had already completed with fat soluble vitamins. Now we talk about water soluble vitamins. We were talking about vitamin. No, did we finish with what? Fat soluble. I think we were talking about K. K already done. Okay, K already done. Correct. So we now talk about what? तुम इसके साथ आके बैठो. कुछ तो उससे सीखोगे तुम. इधर आके बैठो. अब अगले बायो टेस्ट में अगर तुमको अच्छा मार्क्स नहीं मिला ना, I'm going to squeeze you like anything. Next is look into the water soluble vitamins. First is B1. Underline the term thiamine. B1. Underline the term thiamine. Thiamine. Now the food sources I already told you. You are going to read on your own. You may be writing overlapping sources. You say na, fark nahi padega. Thiamine. Now we talk about the function. What is the most important function? It helps in growth. It helps in growth. Thiamine, adequate amount of thiamine is also necessary for proper digestion and hence appetite. If the process of digestion is not good in our body, then we don't feel hungry also. Appetite means the desire to take food, intake food. So if some days you also must have understood, some days when you eat outside or some junk food, etc., heavy food, what happens? That appetite is not there to eat further. क्यों ऐसे होता है? Because process of digestion did not happen properly. But in this process, we actually understand the role of the enzymes, but vitamin B1 also plays a role there. Thiamine. Then next is deficiency disorder. Underline very. Deficiency disorder is very. सबसे important symptoms क्या है? Degeneration of the nerves and muscle becomes weak. So degeneration of the nerves and the muscle, that is the most important symptom of very. Come to the next one, riboflavin, underline, riboflavin. See some of the sources to remember. Function क्या है? Oxidation of food. What is meant by oxidation of food? Oxidation of food matlab by the process of digestion of food, the glucose that enters from the intestine to the blood and then to the body cells has to get broken down. If I just talk about glucose as one example, the glucose in the body cells will break down to release energy and carbon dioxide. So इस process को oxidation बोलते हैं, oxidation. When we talk about oxidation of food, now other than that, if I have to talk about oxidation of anything else, we understand the reaction with oxygen, that's different. But now we are talking about oxidation of food. So oxidation of food का मतलब क्या है? Oxidation of food मतलब we are talking about breakdown of the glucose to release carbon dioxide and energy is. So now next is what riboflavin, niacin, underline the word niacin. What is niacin? B3. What is B3 also known as? So that we have to remember the names, niacin. See some sources they promotes healthy growth of the skin and again nervous system. Healthy skin के लिए niacin की जरूरत है, nerve growth functioning के लिए niacin की जरूरत है. So we are talking about the niacin. Now, what is the deficiency diseases? Pellagra. So when we are talking about pellagra, major symptom क्या है? Dermatitis. Dermatitis is a basic skin-related problem where the skin becomes scaly, skin becomes dry, excessive irritation, rashes, all these things may happen. Along with a bit of memory loss, diarrhea. अब सब एक इंडिविजुअल में सारे symptoms हो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. Different individuals may have different symptoms actually. When we are talking about pantothenic acid B6, pantothenic acid B6. B5, I'm sorry, B5, pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acid, there is now again several foods लिखा है. Pantothenic acid basically is found in when we are talking about certain different type of fruits. It is also found in some dairy products. Pantothenic acid. Now, pantothenic acid, see there, pantothenic acid basically results in skin rashes and lesions. That is actually the deficiency condition of pantothenic acid. Pyridoxine. See the function of pyridoxine basically is the formation of hemoglobin. You know what is hemoglobin? What is it? Hemoglobin is what?
The red of the
RBCs. So the color of the blood is because of hemoglobin actually. So synthesis of hemoglobin, that is a major function of pyridoxine. अगर pyridoxine नहीं है adequate in the body, underline some of the common effects. Fatigue. What is the meaning of fatigue and nerve disorder? What is the meaning of fatigue? You know, tired too soon. So sometimes you'll come across some people, they get tired doing little bit only. Maybe after a little bit of running, walking, they become tired. But there may be some people who are constantly running, walking and doing so many things anxiety, but still they are not tired. So they become tired doing something really strenuous. That is normal. But doing little bit and then getting tired, that's actually not normal. So that is what we are talking about here, fatigue. Folic acid 11, B11, folic acid, very important for our body. Again, it has got something to do with the formation of hemoglobin. But deficiency of folic acid may lead to anemia. a massive condition, a severe condition, where because of the RBC deficiency, hemoglobin deficiency, what would happen yesterday also we were discussing. The blood cells, if they are less in number, what is the most important problem people suffer from? Oxygen deficiency in the T2s.
Let's
And energy release will be much less.
What is the relation between anemia and iron? Means iron intake.
Iron intake and anemia. Iron intake is again necessary for the formation of hemoglobin, because hemoglobin का एक component ही है human जो iron component है. Hemoglobin, if I talk about the composition of hemoglobin, it is made up of iron components and a protein component. तो अगर हमारे food में iron नहीं रहेगा, adequate amount of iron intake should be there. तो iron intake नहीं रहेगा तो hemoglobin formation नहीं हो पा रहा है. Adequate amount of iron is very much necessary. If it is not there, then anemia रहेगा. Cobalamin B12, cobalamin or cyanocobalamin. So cobalamin, which is also known as B12, functioning of the red blood cells. Red blood cells have got a variety of function, like majorly the transport functions of respiratory gases. So that is what it is. And B12 deficiency results in pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. Which mineral deficiency was also causing pernicious anemia? Which mineral deficiency? Yesterday we studied. Which mineral deficiency was causing pernicious anemia? Cobalt. Yesterday we studied that, no? So pernicious anemia is caused majorly due to deficiency of B12, या तो due to deficiency of cobalt, massive deficiency of cobalt in the body. So next is we try to understand that if these are some of the deficiency disorders, and we now know that what are some of the reasons. Next is we talk about vitamin C. Can you give me 5 items which in vitamin C? Very common. Lemon and orange, sweet lime, gooseberries, correct, grapes. So now that we are talking about all these, citrus, pineapple has a very less concentration of vitamin C compared to when you talk about the oranges and the lemon and the sweet lime. Okay, yes. Where's the vitamin C? So vitamin C, when we are talking about vitamin C, promotes functioning of the formation of the gums, promotes functioning of the capillaries, healthy growth, healthy formation of capillaries, blood vessels के लिए vitamin C is very much necessary. So sometimes you also must have experienced that whenever you brush your teeth, a little bit of blood loss happens from the gums. So if that is what is happening with anybody, then it is indication that there is a vitamin C deficiency. Sometimes you come across that you develop some sores, the skin gets torn at the edges of the lips, inside the mouth there are some mouth ulcers. So these are all indications of vitamin C deficiency. Immediately we should increase our vitamin C intake, adequate amount of vitamin C intake. सबसे important disorder जो होता है, that is called scurvy. Analyze scurvy deficiency disorder. If you see that word scurvy, what is some of the common symptoms? Bleeding of the gums. If you see your sets of teeth in the mirror, you should be able to understand that the gums that we have should not be swollen. The gums should be tightly fit with the base of the teeth and pinkish in color. That's the healthy gums that we understand. But yes, some people will come across that the gums, if you see the lower region of the upper, it is all swollen. If it is dark quite a number of times, maybe because of some deficiency of vitamins also. But actually it should be pinkish. That's a healthy gums. Darkish color. Sometimes some people have got almost brownish color of the gums. These are all associated with some deficiencies. Or lack of or the RBC count lower, that also can happen. So scurvy basically is a condition. Kafi baar people would suffer from this, and maybe now that we are talking about all these, especially for pernicious anemia, these type of conditions where some medical help is actually required, but for quite a number of these, medical help is actually not required. If you know some of these conditions and we have a fair idea, immediately we have to intake our increase our intake of those type of foods which can replace our deficiencies, then it can be corrected. Water. When we are talking about water, can you tell me 5 important functions before you look into the book? Why should we drink water? How much of the water should we drink? Do you know? At your age group, how much of the water should you drink? 8 liters.
8 glasses, 2 liters per day.
8 liters. 8 to 10 glasses. Roughly 3 liters. Enough. Roughly 3 liters. Huh? 5 liter पीते हो?
एक दिन में एक बार पीता हूँ.
5 liter is too much. It's not like that. The more you drink, the more your body will be flushed out. When you are drinking too much, you are putting so much of pressure on the kidneys. And अच्छा होने के जगह, now what will happen? The kidney will stop functioning because a particular organ has got certain limits. No, undergoing the pressure.
Some kind of heart condition.
That is associated with people who suffer from major heart blockade and all that. Nah, too much. So basically under normal condition, we should not drink more than 3 liters. More than 3 liters ki zarurat nahi hai. It becomes a pressure for our kidneys at that time. We should drink adequate amount, whatever is necessary to flush out the toxins. Only that much. So maximum 3 liters, nothing more than that. Balanced diet. Okay, we were talking about functions of the water. What are some of the functions of the water you feel? Water, first of all, helps in the process of digestion. Water keeps the fluid nature of the blood. No, water helps to maintain the fluid nature of the blood. What else? Water is also acting as a solvent. Now that enzymes which will help in the process of digestion. अगर हम अच्छी तरह से पानी नहीं पीते हैं, the process of digestion also will not happen properly. क्योंकि जब enzymes, if they are too much in the concentrated form, they cannot spread over the surface of the food and the process of digestion नहीं हो पाता है. So when we are talking about water, water also acts as a solvent, dissolves all these waste substances, the enzymes, and waste substances को भी dissolve करना जरूरी है because they have to be carried by the way of the blood so that they get deposited in the kidneys. So it's from the excretion. बोलो.
Hard water, जो tap water है, वो भी use करते हैं.
Adequate amount of minerals, but generally we cannot rely on tap water because hard water तो ठीक है, but at the same time excess amount of iron and chlorine अगर हमारे body में जाएगा, that is going to create additional problems. And forget about the germs to mention. So when we are talking about, of course, we have to purify the water. So purifying water in certain methods still keeps the minerals intact. But certain particular methods takes away all the minerals. So that also we have to have a basic fair knowledge. Balanced diet, I think we already talked about balanced diet earlier also. Again, let us try to understand. Balanced diet, what was the definition? Adequate amount of different nutrients. The type of nutrients, majorly that should be in our food: carbohydrate, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, water. No, fine. And adequate amount of these type of nutrients, adequate amount of water along with the other type of nutrients. Adequate amount of water is also necessary. So when we are talking about balanced diet, the typical definition is adequate amount of nutrients in our meal. Why is it necessary to bring about proper growth? Necessary to bring about proper growth. Balanced diet is necessary to bring about proper functioning of the organs, body parts, functions. So when we are talking about in the growing stages, should an individual focus on adequate amount of nutrients more on the growing stages or in the adult stages? More in the growing stages. Now, does that mean an adult should not focus on the nutrients? We should. Why? But an adult is not growing anymore.
Keep those whatever.
For the repair and maintenance functions. So for repair and maintenance functions, that does not mean once we are 25 and 30, we should not eat healthy food or balanced diet. No, even then, we should always try to maintain a proper level of the different type of nutrients queue. Even though we are not growing, the process of repair and maintenance should always be there. Importance of cellulose in our diet. Tick some of those points. Tick some of these points that we should of course understand. Second point, roughage is the undigestible portion of the diet. What did we learn in the first part of the chapter? That roughage. Can you give me two food items rich in roughage?
Spinach.
Cabbage, spinach, lettuce. Most of this green and fruits. When we talk about the fruits, also most of these fruits are rich in fiber, roughage. So roughage is the undigestible portion. Why do we say roughage is the undigestible portion?
That's fine.
I mentioned this earlier also. Why is roughage considered to be the gravitational pull? Why is roughage considered to be the cellulase? Not in our life. So that's the reason roughage is known as the undigestible portion. क्योंकि roughage हमारे body में digest नहीं हो सकता because we don't have the specific enzyme. But if I talk about the cattle, if I talk about these type of animals, they have herbivorous animals, they have that enzyme, so they can digest this to a greater extent. But we cannot. But at the same time, it helps in the process of digestion and reabsorption of water. So second point, take that, it's important for you to remember. The fourth point, roughage enables the food to move easily through the intestines. Fifth point, stimulates secretion of the enzymes from the digestive tract and removal of the cholesterol and toxins. The fifth point is very, very important point to remember. Constipation can often be avoided by the usage or consumption of adequate amount of roughage. Constipation is always a condition we had understood where the reabsorption of water does not happen adequately, and at the same time the person is not able to release the waste proper. And in that process, what's happening? It results in the formation of excessive hard substances inside the intestine. This may result to many other different type of problems that this individual would have. Then, what would be one of the simplest remedy if the person does not have any other health issues and no restriction for food? Then give adequate amount of roughage with food for the person. But quite a number of times, if the person is having other health issues, that may not be possible. That has to not that person has to get on medication. So last point, see there, salads, green vegetables, fruits, etc., provide a large amount of roughage. So this point that I asked you to underline, you have to remember those points. Straight away move on to page 110. Page 110. Number C and D, number C, D, and homework section में number B. Number C, D, number B. Complete करो fast. अच्छा, take care. Number C, D, and B, I said. Give me the book. हाँ क्या हो गया उसको नहीं चाहिए so who is भाई आया कि नहीं आज नहीं आया ये गणपति के बाद आएगा कि दिवाली के बाद Chalo, fast. Just 5 minutes I give you. We need to finish with all the questions. Next class I'm going to start the next chapter. क्या हुआ? Doubt से पूछो. Complete करो questions fast. I said कौन सा बोला था C and D and homework section से B. C, करो fast. No. What is that given?
Female sex hormones are derivatives of
That acids. Such derivatives. That is derivatives of cholesterol actually. Acids. Derivative of cholesterol actually. Acha, derivatives of this wait, pentothenic acid. Pentothenic acid. Pentothenic acid. Yeah.
estrogen acids.
Correct that. It will not be what's his name?
Pandan.
Spandan. Pentothenic नहीं होगा, folic acid होगा. Folic acid. B6. B9. I'm sorry, B9. Folic acid का होता है basically. Folic acid. It's not pentothenic. Seeds, not digestive system. No, but digestive system is a lengthy chapter. No? Digestive system, now nutrition was a small chapter. So digestive system is a lengthy chapter. The entire organs. Revised portion. D. Very good exams, and stop laughing. October 8. Portion is digestive system and seed both.
Seed is there. Seed is there.
No, we don't have that.
Digestive experiments you all have. Yeah. And what is the other portion that you have? Yes. What is the other common portion have? Stone.
No,
We don't have both of them.
nutrition as well.
Nutrition is
All the three.
the school change color.
They were
हम लोग
majority have.
okay. So we'll have to see. Now listen. पहले फटाफट complete करो. Don't waste time. Complete करो. So we'll do it this way. 10 minutes exam. doesn't know her exam, she knows Assembly State. 19th September, still a month, no. Still a month.
No, no.
आज कितना तारीख है?
वो नहीं है नहीं अपने ग्राफ
हाँ.
Now, Rahul, what is this is a vitamin responsible for this is a
Vitamin K. नहीं. No, no, no. Vitamin.
also vitamin.
No, no.
B6 or B11 G.
B6 and
B11.
B11.
Don't know.
B6 is no. B6 is which one? Wait. Majorly it's B6. Majorly it's B6. Pyridoxine. No, I'm saying B9. Folic acid. B9.
B11.
B9.
B11 is only
B9 is folic
it's
acid.
B9
Ma'am, in the volume is B11 and text.
No, B9. Correct. B9 is folic acid. B9. हाँ भक्ति. बात नहीं करेगी. हाँ श्रेया is reminding me. चलो डन. आज तो हुआ भी नहीं. अच्छा, so what I say is, since seeds is a smaller chapter, we'll try to finish it up fast and then I'll start with digestive system because digestive system 2-3 lectures तो लगेगा नहीं.
I'm glad.
Now, I see for 8 chapter, you got 8 chapter.
That's what I'm saying.
I just say that I want to flow ही रहेगा किसी का मैम now. अरे मैम now floating fertilization now we can do this now then I'm actually going to do
That is what I'm saying.
completing it on the seeds and then skin and all whatever.
That is what I'm saying. But you all said that that is also there's so many chapters. Digestive system at one point it's easier. So that's why I started nutrition also. ये दो चैप्टर एक साथ पढ़ोगे तो फटाफट हो भी जाए. Okay, you complete with that and then maybe see the smaller chapter before your exam will be able to finish. Done. Now look at the textbook questions. All of you are done with the volume questions. Excess fats are converted into carbohydrates. True, that is true. In the liver. हो गया? That is called gluconeogenesis. ऐसे कैसे तुम बैठ गए क्लास उसका चेहरा देखने के लिए तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स वेट रहा
हाँ
ऐसे बैठ
हाँ ऐसे बेटा तो पेरेंट्स कितने होता है
पैर को घर पे रखवाना चाहिए पैर पे नहीं होता
हाँ देखो अच्छी है
I cover it with
what else excuses I have to do I don't know. Thanks, useless. नाइन्थ में अगर तुम लोग का लिस्ट है 10th में तो तुम लोग का ना बांध के रखना पड़ेगा. और अगर मैं 10th में रही तो ये फटाफट जीते. चलो बात हो गया. कंप्लीट करो फास्ट. लास्ट 1 more minute I'm waiting. टेक्स्ट के सारे क्वेश्चंस कंप्लीट होने चाहिए इन दिस पीरियड. नेक्स्ट पीरियड आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डिवोट एनी टाइम फॉर न्यूट्रिशन. Now see, nutrition is over for your chapter for your exam. What are the chapters? You said nutrition is there. Digestive system is there. Okay. Digestive system. By the time I reach halfway, I'll give you a sudden test on digestive system and nutrition in the class. Today I'm not giving you any extra questions. Today we'll complete with all the questions of the volume of the text. And after completing halfway digestive system, I'll give you a test on both. Now, textbook questions, come on. Turn to page 102. Turn to page 102. True false करो. True false. Number 2, 3, 4. Name the following. B 1, 2, 3, 4. B 1, 2, 3, 4. And long answer questions. Long answer questions. Number 2. Long answer questions number 2. Number 3 and 4, I'm not asking you to write, but these are very important for your exam. Points are as it is given in your book. You will study those words. No need of writing them again in your notebook. Number 2. Finish this. After that, I'll give you additional 5 long answer questions. 5 additional long answer questions. Complete this fast. Textbook questions. Last time I gave you, some questions from the first part of the chapter. I gave you.
It is false. No, I am required by thyroid. It is false. It's false.
Now, first cellulose in our food passes out undigested. First, cellulose in our food passes out undigested. False, not true.
That is right.
That is just now also we talked about that we don't have cellulase in our bodies.
The false. Coming forward, there are questions. Some proteins contain S and P.
Huh?
Some proteins contain S and P.
Some proteins contain S and P.
Macronutrients.
Some proteins, sulfur and phosphorus. Proteins which contain here, वैसे तो proteins के examples तुम्हारे syllabus में है ही नहीं. But yes, some proteins which contain amino acids like arginine, those are different. State that's a true false. No, that's true state. That is true.
Which protect us from disease and therefore antibiotics which protect us from disease are also true.
Antibiotics are not food. Antibiotics are extracts of organisms. Did you finish with the question that I gave you? Last one. Extra questions, take down in your notebook. You will complete this as homework. Fatafat, take down these questions. We'll solve it at home as homework. Now chart. Yesterday I asked you to underline those or tick those symptoms. So remember that only to mention. You know, so you're constantly talking. I want the temperature to be even low so that your jaw starts freezing and you can't talk. As for them, let the temperature be low enough so that your jaw starts freezing.
Please.
Huh?
Please not, please.
Then get the temperature gases. I need job remote लेके आओ. As it is you are not writing and studying already.
I'm writing.
Right.
Many questions, but you have to read the table very nicely. I could give you just some extra questions, but many questions are there that can be framed, so you have to read the chapter very nicely. Complete these questions as homework. Okay. Take down these questions, complete this as homework. Next class, I'm going to check all your work. I should see all of you complete your work. Excellent solutions. So I will be back on the work. Complete by the time. What is my name? You can open to
Yeah.
Done all of you completed? To run the questions all of you? Thank you. For your chapter, this time issues and all not there, no? Issues not there.
Maybe 5
हाँ, What is a pollination fertilization? Pollination fertilization. Take one question that is right. Pick up your notebook. This is my homework. This will be that for me. You may need 2 pages for writing down the answer. Draw the structure of. Draw the structure of. Draw the structure of. Carpel of a flower. To show double fertilization. Draw the structure. Diagrams, most of you have to focus on. Diagrams are not very similar or the carpel of a flower to show double fertilization. To show double fertilization. Pencil से draw करना है. Well labeled diagram. फटाफट करना है. I should see that 5 minutes में सबका diagram हो गया है. 5 minutes is enough time. Technical notebook. I have a notebook. Excellent.
Yeah, some few pages of blank that are last time about the road of the students. So.
नीट डायग्राम ड्रॉ करना है. 5 मिनट में सबका हो जाना चाहिए. नो टॉकिंग. फटाफट करो. You also focus on the handwriting. Not to take down what has been done.
No, I feel I was going to have
They don't have to come to look at more phone. No. What are you looking for? Diagram याद नहीं है. याद है ना? Which diagram? Right at the right, almost at the right. Which A? Washington, FAIOR. Washington. Q. Huh? It's in a problem. Have a question that you're showing me. Party to get strong together. Proper subjects, the proper notebook, and it's before you also refer to the exam. Make it straight. Previous work. Previous work we can do that. Then that's been our work. And practically, after the classes will happen on our farm and gold plan different. Farm and gold plans different.
Because they are the both are of heterosexual.
Farm and gold plans, we both are. Give you that question from this chapter. That was from pollination fertilization. Pollination fertilization. That was the previous question I gave you, what reference I gave that question.
We'll write to that solution.
Okay. And farm and gold and different I gave you. But farm and gold.
हो गया तुम चेंज करना
हाँ करेक्ट हाँ चेक को यहाँ पे आने के लिए farm and goat farm is
हाँ इधर का
again right now farm plants